All right, everybody, we're moving into pretty much a fake chapter, chapter 13, I'm calling it. We're just, again, gearing up for those keystones, making sure that you leave an Algebra 1 class with everything in your memory bank from Algebra A and Algebra B. So this eligible content looks like an overwhelming amount, but today I just want you to know that we are going through y equals mx plus b in application problems. I have 6 of them for you in the notes, and then I have 6 of them for you in the homework, and they look very similar to each other. Hopefully by the end you won't feel as bad once you see all those words adding up, but you've got this. So let's take a look and just punch it out. Example 1, and we kind of been amping up for this in our Keystone reviews and just in general in the Algebra 1 reviews from the notes. Suppose that the water level of a river is currently at 50 feet. That sounds like the b value in y equals mx plus b, and that it is receding, that means negative, at a rate of zero point 0.4 feet, that should 0.4 foot or zero point 0.4 feet per day. That sounds like a slope to me. So when we do y equals mx plus b, I'm going to have a negative 0.4 because it's receding and it started at 50. Okay, now maybe what I did is I read right over this. They said to do the equation, which I've done. However, they want the water level to be L and they want D to represent days. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of my Y and X. And do you see how it says 0.4 foot per day right here? That's where your D goes. And the water level is L. So there's your equation. And how many days will the water be at 26 feet? So 26 feet is for the water level, so you're going to put that in for L. So I'm going to do a quick duplicate of this guy over here, throw him over here, take off the L, and put in 26. And now we're going to solve, and you guys, your solving skills have become so good over this semester. So let's go ahead and solve by taking away 50. Let's see, 26 minus 50 is negative 24, equaling negative 0.4d. Those cross off. I'll go ahead and grab that calculator over here, put it to the side. Oops. And we're going to divide, once I get the calculator, there we go. We're going to divide both sides by negative 0.4. So here, I'll change colors so you can see a new step. Negative 0.4, negative 0.4. So we had negative 24 divided by negative 0.4. And we get 60 equals D. So we can say in 60 days, the water level will be 26. So down from 50, it will be 26 feet after starting at 50 feet in 60 days. Number 2, let's do the same thing again. We'll see what we're going to plug in for on this one. Get rid of that calculator. Seth's father is thinking about buying his son a 6-month movie pass for $40. That was nice. If you have that pass, every matinee is only $1. Write an equation for the total cost C based on the number of matinees M that Seth will see. So let's start with our y equals mx plus b, and then we'll change out our variables as we go along. So the slope is the one that happens every matinee. So that's your $1 for every matinee. So that's your 1x. And you see how it says every is $1. The 40 is your initial cost, and that was a $40 cost just for buying the pass. And that equals y. Now, like we said, we're going to switch out y and switch out x. They want the total cost to be c. So instead of having a y in the front, and I'm going to get rid of this so I can see better, they want a c in the front. Based on the number of matinees, that's m, that goes right here. So it said every matinee, that's what they want to have the 1. The 1 goes with that variable m. Now let's take a look at the next one. Derek's on a different route. He decides he is not going to buy the pass, and he's just going to pay the normal $3.50 each. Write an equation for Derek. Okay, so this $3.50 is for every matinee. So that's going to be $3.50 for every matinee, like that. Now we're used to doing y equals mx plus b. So if we do y equals mx plus b, the question is, what in the world is the beginning value? Well, the beginning value is how much he pays for, like, initially. And that's going to be a big 0 because he's not buying a pass. So because it's 0, it's not, because he's not buying a pass, we don't need that. Let's change out our variables. Remember, y gets replaced with c because they want the total cost, and x gets replaced with m because m is the number of matinees. How many times is Seth going to have to attend it in order to benefit his father to buy the pass? So we are going to set those two things equal and figure out when the two are the same. So we're going to say, when does the pass, this is the pass, equal the normal cost. And the normal cost is 350. And now we have a basic algebra problem. Let's take the 1m to the other side by doing minus. That's 40 equals 250. And divide by both sides by 250. I'm going to grab my calculator again. So I'm going to do 40 divided by 250. And I'm able to say that after 16 matinees, so I'm going to write after 16, like matinees, when you watch the times of going to the movie, after 16 matinees, M-A, now I need to look, Tinees, the pass pays for itself. So you set the two equations equal, and then whatever you get, that's how many times you would have to go to the movies in order for the pass to even be beneficial to you. All right, let's take a look at number 3. We have 6 examples altogether. So Nicole is a babysitter, and she charges a flat fee of $10, probably just, excuse me, maybe for gas getting to the place, and then $15 every hour. And that is not really unreasonable for a babysitter. We need to write an equation for the cost C after H hours of babysitting. So let's just do this. Let's write y equals mx plus b. How much is her flat cost? Well, the flat fee is $10. That doesn't go up or down. It's just a flat rate of 10. That's why your y-intercept. And then we have your $15 per hour. That's your slope that's going to go in front of x because it says per hour or every hour. Now, they don't want us to use y for our total cost. They want us to use c. And they don't want us to use x for hours. They want us to use h for hours. So it says $15 every hour. That's why 15 gets the h. So it says how, and I'll erase the other one because that's not part of our answer. How much money will she make if she babysits for 5 hours? So we're going to plug 5 in or substitute 5 in for h. So we do c equals 15 times 5 plus 10. And you can just straight up put that into your calculator. 15 times 5 is 50, 75 plus 10 for a total of $85 that she would get. And that's how much she would charge. All right, let's go on to example 4. A plumber charges $100 for a service call and $50 per hour of service. Here's your slope and your initial fee. That's your initial fee is your y-intercept. So if we're going into y equals mx plus b for our formula, we know that we have an initial fee of 100 and $50 every time. So whenever it says 50 per, 50 every, that's your slope. Now they want us to do the total cost as the variable c. So let's get rid of y and change it into a c. And h for hours of service instead of x. So I'm going to erase our old one, our more comfortable one, using y and x, and have replace it with c and h. It doesn't look like a capital C. There we go. What will be the total cost after 8 hours? That means to substitute 8 in for h because it's hours. So I'm going to do c equals 50 times 8 plus 100. So you can put that straight into a calculator. You can do it slowly. 50 times 8 is 400 plus 100 is a total cost of 500. Not really a terrible price to pay for an emergency plumber. How many hours of work were completed if the cost was $475? So this time we're plugging in for C because it's a cost. So instead of C equals, what was it? 50H plus 100, I'm going to get rid of my C and put in 475. This one requires a little more work to solve for the variable. So minus 100 from both sides using our good algebra skills. That's 375 equals 50H. Divide each side by 50. And yeah, we're going to have a decimal, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. Let's pull this up. 375 divided by 50 means that they were there for 7.5 hours of work. And that's how you solve those ones. Make sure you know what you're plugging in for. We have 2 more examples. I only have about 10 more minutes. So what I'm going to do is probably maybe get example 5 done and then put example 6 on a different video. Rufus, probably Rufus, collected 100 aluminum cans to recycle. He plans to collect an additional 15 cans. There you go. Look at that keyword, each week. So there's your slope, and the 100 is your initial amount. INT means initial. Write and graph an equation for the total number of cans of aluminum cans after, that's kind of redundant, sorry, after W weeks. So instead of y equals mx plus b, let's go ahead and put our initial value of 100 in there. He started with 100 cans, and we have a slope of 15. But they don't want us to use y and x. They want us to use c for cans and w for weeks. And you can see I've already put those labels on your graph for you, and I got a nice scale there. Let's go ahead and graph this, practicing our old y equals mx plus b skills. So everybody, let's go up to 100 and make our first point. These are skipping by 15s. I did that on purpose. Change the pen size. There we go. So this is 15 and 30 and 45 and 60, 75 and 90, 105, 120, and 135. Please pause the video if you need to add those numbers in. All right, so our y-intercept was at 100. So here is up, where's 100 going to be? It's giving, it's like right here, okay? Now what we're going to do is we need to go up 15 and over 1. That's our slope. So up 15 over 1. So let's see. Up 15 from 100 is 115. So let's go up to 115, which is right here, and then over 1 unit. Where's my 1 unit? Oh, look, 1 is way over here, isn't it? That's kind of a silly graph. So I went up 15, and over 1. And now I need to do that again. Up another 15 is going to take me to 130, which is right 25, 30. There we go. I think I'm doing this right. Oh, I didn't graph 100 very well. That's okay. I'm going to fix it now. It should have been a little closer to 105. There we go. So up 15. Okay, now we're going up another 15 and over another 1. So that's like right here. Boy, those are really annoying jumps, aren't they? That's too bad. All right, 3 dots gives me a pretty decent looking line. So what I'm going to do is just grab this and use my line tool. And there, let's thicken that line a little bit because it's kind of doesn't really proportion out to that graph too well. There is your equation. So after so many weeks, you will collect so many cans. This was a little hard, I think, skipping, but I wouldn't do it if I didn't think you're going to see. If you're going to see that on the Keystone, I need to show it to you here. And you will see this on the Keystone. This could easily be an open-ended question on those Keystones. So hopefully what you're going to be able to do is grab an easy 4 points there. How long will it take him to collect 400 cans? So 400 goes in for the C value, the cans. So I'm going to write C equals 15W plus 100. But when I zoom in here, I'm going to take away my C and make it into 400. All right, now what I'm going to do is take and solve for W, which means I need to do minus 100 to get 300. And then I'm going to need to divide by 15. So if you're trying to play catch up with me, go ahead and do that now while I grab the calculator. 300 divided by 15 makes a total of 20 equals W. So we can say he must have been collecting cans for 20 weeks if he was going to get a total of 400 cans. All right. Let's see, that took me about 4 minutes. Let's do that one more time. That way I only have to do one video. A canoe rental service charges $20 transportation fee and $30 an hour to rent a canoe. So we need to make a y equals mx plus b out of that. Remember, m is how much it's going up every or each. So we have 30 per hour. So let's change m into 30. And b is the initial amount. So take a look and look for the initial amount that they charge you. Hopefully you're able to see that no matter what, you're going to be charged a flat rate of 20. Now, what do they want us to use? Oh, good. They want us to use y and x. So that is, thank goodness, very convenient for us. With that being said, let's go ahead and give it a good graph. So we're going to go to our y-intercept at 20 right here. And we're going to go up 30 units and over 1. Up 30, over 1. Up 30 over 1. And let's see, that makes sense, right? So we're going up 10, 20, 30 over 1 whole unit. 10, 20, 30 over, there we go. Just double checking. Now, something you might want to do, since I am rushing to get this done, you may want to pause the video and slow me down. Sometimes putting Mrs. Langeli on slow speed is a very good thing. All right, what is the cost of renting the canoe for 6 hours? Substitute 6 in for h, but we're actually not using h, are we? We're actually using x this time. So that's going to be y equals 30x plus 20. But please, this time, take away the x because that is the x value this time, not the y value like last time. And that can go straight into your calculator. You can take it in 2 steps, and you end up getting $200 for 6 hours. I've got kids coming in just a few minutes, but hopefully you were able to make your y equals mx plus b, use the appropriate values, plug in where you need to, and graph where you need to. Now it's time for you to try 6 on your own.